What if I told you that the Mona Lisa, the most famous painting in the world, was once stolen in one of the boldest and simplest heists in history? No elaborate gadgets, no grand conspiracies, just a handyman with a plan and a desire to make his mark on history. But this isn't just a story of a theft. It's the story of how a crime elevated a painting to global superstardom. Today we'll uncover every detail of the 1911 Mona Lisa heist, how it happened, why it happened, and the surprising legacy it left behind. Scene 1. Life before the heist. The Mona Lisa in 1911. In the early 20th century, the Mona Lisa was admired, but she wasn't yet the global phenomenon she is today. Painted by Leonardo da Vinci in the early 1500s, the portrait of Lisa Gherardini was already recognized as a masterpiece of Renaissance art. Critics praised the lifelike quality of her enigmatic smile, and da Vinci's use of sfumato, a painting technique that creates soft transitions between colors and tones, was revolutionary. However, in 1911, the Mona Lisa didn't stand out as the most famous piece in the Louvre. She hung modestly in the Salon Carré gallery alongside many other works of art. Security was minimal. Paintings were simply hung on walls with little more than a hook and frame. Museum guards patrolled, but there were no cameras, no alarms, and certainly no motion detectors. In other words, the Mona Lisa was vulnerable. Scene 2. Vincenzo Peruggia, the man with a plan. The man at the center of this story was Vincenzo Peruggia, an Italian handyman and painter. Peruggia had occasionally worked at the Louvre, helping install protective glass cases over various artworks. This job gave him access to the museum's inner workings, and he became familiar with its routines, layout, and most importantly, its weaknesses. Peruggia claimed to be motivated by patriotism. He believed that the Mona Lisa had been stolen from Italy by Napoleon and that it belonged in its homeland. However, his reasoning was based on a historical misunderstanding. In truth, Leonardo da Vinci himself brought the painting to France in the early 1500s, presenting it to King Francis I. It was never stolen. Regardless of his flawed logic, Peruggia was convinced he was doing something noble. He began planning the theft, studying the museum's layout, and observing the staff to identify the best time to strike. Scene 3. The day of the heist. The morning of Monday, August 21, 1911, started like any other at the Louvre. Mondays were maintenance days, so the museum was closed to the public. Workers moved freely through the galleries, cleaning and performing repairs. Peruggia arrived early, wearing a white smock identical to the ones worn by museum employees. He made his way to the Salon Carré, where the Mona Lisa hung in its frame. At this time, the painting was protected only by a simple wooden frame in a sheet of glass. The guards were nowhere in sight, and the gallery was empty. Peruggia seized the moment. He carefully lifted the painting from the wall, removed it from its frame, and hid it under his smock. Then, with the Mona Lisa concealed, he exited the museum through a side door. The entire operation was shockingly simple. No alarms were triggered, no one stopped him, and no one even noticed the painting was missing. Scene 4. The discovery. A museum in chaos. It wasn't until the next day that the theft was discovered. On Tuesday morning, an artist arrived at the Salon Carré intending to sketch the Mona Lisa. When he saw an empty space on the wall, he alerted a guard who initially assumed the painting had been removed for cleaning or restoration. But as hours passed and no one could account for the Mona Lisa's whereabouts, the truth became clear. The painting had been stolen. The news of the theft spread like wildfire. The Louvre closed its doors for an entire week as investigators combed through the museum for clues. Detectives interviewed every staff member and worker, but no solid leads emerged. The case took an unexpected turn when two famous artists were implicated. Guillaume Apollinaire, a poet and art critic with ties to avant-garde circles, was arrested and questioned. He, in turn, implicated his friend Pablo Picasso. Both men were eventually cleared of involvement, but the scandal added to the mystery surrounding the crime. Scene 5. The missing years. Where was the Mona Lisa? For nearly 2 years, the Mona Lisa was missing, and her whereabouts remained a complete mystery. Some believed the painting had been destroyed, while others speculated that it had been smuggled out of the country and sold on the black market. The French police had no leads, and the case seemed to have gone cold. But all the while, the painting was hidden in the most unassuming of places, a simple trunk in Vincenzo Peruggia's apartment in Paris. Peruggia kept the Mona Lisa wrapped in cloth, waiting for the right moment to fulfill what he saw as his patriotic mission. Scene 6. The painting resurfaces. Peruggia's downfall. In December 1913, Peruggia decided it was time to act. He contacted Alfredo Geri, an art dealer in Florence, and claimed he had the Mona Lisa. Peruggia explained that he wanted to return the painting to Italy, but also hoped to receive a reward for his efforts. Geri, suspicious of the claim, agreed to meet. When Peruggia arrived, he opened a wooden trunk and unveiled the Mona Lisa. Geri immediately recognized the painting and notified the authorities. Peruggia was arrested on the spot, and the painting was authenticated as the genuine Mona Lisa. During his trial, Peruggia insisted that his actions were driven by patriotism. While some Italians sympathized with him, the court sentenced him to a relatively light prison term of 1 year and 15 days. He served only a few months before being released. Scene 7. The Mona Lisa's triumphant return. The Mona Lisa was returned to the Louvre in January 1914. Her homecoming was celebrated across France, and the media frenzy surrounding the theft had turned her into a global celebrity. What had once been a masterpiece known primarily to art enthusiasts was now an international symbol of mystery, intrigue, and resilience. Crowds flooded the Louvre to see the painting that had been the subject of such an incredible story. The theft had not only heightened her fame, but also cemented her status as the most iconic artwork in the world. Scene 8. The legacy of the heist. Today, the Mona Lisa is the most visited artwork on the planet. She sits behind bulletproof glass in a climate-controlled case, surrounded by state-of-the-art security. Millions of people visit the Louvre each year to catch a glimpse of her enigmatic smile. Ironically, it was Vincenzo Peruggia's audacious crime that helped elevate the Mona Lisa to her current status. Without the theft, it's possible she might not have become the cultural phenomenon we know today. Conclusion. And so, the story of the Mona Lisa's theft is not just a tale of crime. It's a story of how one man's misguided patriotism inadvertently transformed a masterpiece into a legend. What do you think? Was Peruggia a villain or a hero in his own mind? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into art history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more fascinating stories. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.